Hey everyone. Welcome back to Strategy School. Today, we'll be talking about one of my most hated strategies out there, as it involves one of the characters that I genuinely hate with just how overpowered she is at the moment. Of course, we're talking about Silver Wolf, and now, more specifically, how you can use BIAVULT Silver Wolf the most effectively. Let's get into it. Now, fiercely, let's talk about what Silver Wolf actually does in the first place. As you can see here, I don't even have her built. I don't have her but in any 5-star light cones. I really hate this character. I just despise Silver Wolf so much. Why is that, you may ask? Well, she has so many options to choose or to actually bail when she is actually dealing damage. Not to mention, she has a set of skills that, in my opinion, just doesn't really make sense when it comes to making a fair character. Let me explain this properly. So, fiercely, she is Annihility. What does that mean? That means that automatically she has Inject and she also has Generate. Now, that alone, those combo, it's not really unstoppable, it's not really the best unstoppable combo out there, but with Silver Wolf she has this skill which is User Banned. Well, User Banned too. But, User Banned in general. What does that mean? That means that not only can Silver Wolf implant weaknesses and break enemies' weaknesses, Silver Wolf can also attack the weakness-broken enemies and implant weaknesses into me. That's just unfair, and that's not even the worst part. Not only can she attack the weakness broken, but she can also deal the damage when attacking. That means she also is a great breaker. But, not only that, Silver Wolf can also actually awaiting system response. That means Silver Wolf has so many options on how to implant weaknesses. You want to know what the worst part is? Even if she actually has these two as his main implanting option, if she is getting defended well, she still has another implanting option with System Warning. This is basic ATK and Silver Wolf has it as well. It's not really the hardest skill to debuff, but it isn't really exactly easy, either. So I really hate Silver Wolf because of how good she is, of how accurate all her ATK are, and with 2.1, she's even more unstoppable with her weakness implanter. Anyway, that's why I really hate Silver Wolf, but she is the main character that we're going to be talking about when it comes to this strategy. So, let's get into it. Alright, so, how does the BIAVULT Silver Wolf strategy actually work? It's actually pretty simple. The Annihility and the Big stay outside of the field. The Big breaks for the combat and Silver Wolf is left alone on the middle of the field. She's either going to do a technique, but then, if it is a talent, she's going to do a user band and then allow changes to the enemy was getting ambushed by the Big, which means Silver Wolf's defender is most of the time just one guy, or she can also charge BIAV and do an ULT. It's really difficult to actually stop this strategy. It's very much overpowered. I'd say it's probably the strategy with the farthest run in the entire game. Silver Wolf is most likely the character with the farthest run if it were played by the best character or best teamworks in the game. That is how the strategy really works on a basic level. Again, the main character here is going to be Silver Wolf. So, let's talk about abilities. What are you going to want to give Silver Wolf? Well, she doesn't miss any of her techniques. She doesn't really miss the attack, either. She also is very much consistent with that awaiting system response. Not as consistent as the user band, but consistent enough, and her ATK is already good even with just 1038 ATK. She's already very speedy. She's a really good defender in the perimeter because of her speed, so she's pretty much almost perfect. So what else are you going to give her? Just pure ATK, make her DMG dealt even deadlier than it already is. Just give her max ATK and Silver Wolf is going to be a deadly assassin for you. That's it. Just give him pure ATK and this strategy is going to work even better. Now the big that you want to actually use with this strategy is, of course, you guessed it, another op character, Aventurin. His def mode is just way too good to follow up, and it works the best with Silver Wolf's breaking gameplay as well. So you are going to want to use Aventurin if you can, and good substitutes for this would be Fake Xiao or Topaz can actually work as well with their follow-up ATK. It might work pretty well for you with other strategies. But Aventurin is the main big that you're going to want to get, and you can either give him pure def or pure effect res or pure speed or maybe half imaginary DMG half speed. But either one of those works. Aventurin is the big that you're going to want to pick if possible. And with the Nihility you're going to want to use someone who specializes in inflicting debuff, and the best one I've found is Acheron with her Crimson Knot. Her level 10/Dream is just so useful combined with Aventurin shields and Silver Wolf implants. Acheron's Crimson Knot is the best in the entire game when paired with these two, so she is the best option to use. With the Silver Wolf's strategy, Sparkle can also be used, Sunday or Ranmei. These three are good substitutes. Acheron is the one that you're going to want to get if you are actually able to. Just like Silver Wolf, you're going to want to actually increase Acheron's Crimson Knot as well. She almost never misses with her /Dream, and adding more just makes him even more accurate. Make sure to give her pure ATK, maybe some speed here and there. Overall, you should be able to sync all your teams as long as you're Crimson Knot. To better explain the strategy, all you're going to want to do is to give Silver Wolf the ultimate counterattack. Once she enters the battlefield, goes to the fortified wager shield and away from Silver Wolf, and the big just follows up ATK. The enemy swarm will then attack the enemy or do a user band to allow changes, or attack the enemy and then implant if she gets double teamed, which leaves the team with an open weaknesses, and rinse and repeat. That's it. You just keep repeating the exact same thing over and over again, and that's the Silver Wolf strategy. Now, let's go ahead and look at the run where we do the strat, and we'll talk about the strat a little bit more. So, firstly, let's talk about bosses. What are the bosses that you're going to want to get and that you're going to want to avoid? And in all honestly, there isn't really a bosses that you're going to want to get or avoid. The bosses that you're going to get, you're almost always going to have the advantage because of just how cheesy you are. This strategy works well with any team that you come up against. It's always going to be really tough to actually defend Silver Wolf properly, and this strategy is always going to have a good bosses against any strategies in the entire game. If you were to want to actually avoid any bosses though, I'd say it's probably Argeti the most, since he actually strongest Silver Wolf and actually really a good weakness implanter, so there's that. But he also has good reach with his ult against her user band, against her allow changes as well. Argeti does a good enough job compared to other characters when it comes to shutting that down. I'd say Argenti is her main weakness, and maybe Hulayan Swarm, True Sting as well. When it comes to actually defending the enemy and CC debuff there as well, maybe Abunda T-Bondir and Kafka. But honestly, it's pretty hard to actually knock down the allies away from Silver Wolf if you know how to ban the user properly. Those are your possible counters. Again, though, in all honesty, you have a really good matchup against any strategies that you actually go up against. Don't be afraid. As long as you know what you are doing, you have a pretty good chance of winning against any strategies with the Silver Wolf strategy. Next up, we'll talk about the difficulty of actually doing this strategy. In all honesty, it does take some practice to perfect it. It's not really hard. I wouldn't say it's a hard strategy to pull off. It's not really that hard, but it does require some time to actually get the hang of things for your teammates to actually know what they're doing if they're not used to this strategy. It does take some practice. I'd say it is very similar to BIAVULT Robin. I think it's very similar to that strategy, and the amount of experience that you are going to want to get is about the same as well with BIAVULT Robin. These two strategies are very similar. That's why you know they are very much popular, especially to high tiers. I'd say it's not too difficult, but it does take some time to actually master it. Finally, we'll talk about meta, and it is very much meta. It's one of, if not, the most used strategy in the entire game, especially when you fight against high tiers. Maybe Robin or BIAVULT Robin actually surpasses it in terms of popularity and usage. Yeah, it's pretty much meta as well. Everybody always uses this whenever they can. It's one of the most popular strategies out there for a good reason. It's incredibly effective. It is one of the hardest strategy to actually stop in the entire game. This strategy BIAVULT Silver Wolf is very overpowered, just like Robin or BIAVULT Robin, or just like Jeopard skill spam. These three strategies, they really dominate the game right now, with just how powerful they really are. I'll go ahead and leave early now. I'm really sick of talking about Silver Wolf. I hope that this video has been helpful. Subscribe to my channel if this video helped, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Feeling lucky.
100% quick! This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Trickier to crack. Time for a buzz. Can I have fun this time for a buzz? We have the upper hand.
I hit the mark.
That's half the work. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. In still waters of oblivion.
More enemies. Time for a buzz. This is double speed. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
We have the upper hand. That's more like it.
What is that?
100% break!
A string.
100% break!
Enemy data net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
You took the bait. Time for a fun.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Can I have fun this time? Time for a fun.
Enemy targets detect. Ready for another?
I hit the mark.
Ready when you are.
Feeling lucky.
100% break! This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed. Trickier to crack. Time for a fun.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack. We have the upper hand.
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Another journey begins. On the still waters of oblivion. Watch your head.
Time for a fun.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Sure, I'll
Enemy data net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
Free will or what?
You took the bait. Time for a buzz. This is double speed.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
You took the bait. Time for a buzz.
Commencing support. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
You took the bait. Time for a buzz.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Ready when you are.
Feeling lucky. Feeling lucky.
100% great. that needs optimizing. This is double speed.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Data net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
100% break. More enemies. Time for a fun. This is double speed.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
Ready when you are.
Feeling lucky.
100% break.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Trickier to crack. Time for a fun. This is double speed.
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Free will, or was it fate? On the still waters of oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Watch your head.
Time for a plunge.
Enemy targets detected. Enemy data net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Tricks.
All in. Watch your head. How familiar. All in.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Watch your head. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Nice. Let's do it again when you're leveled up. Ready when you are. Ready when you are.
Feeling lucky.
100% break.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
This combat needs This is double speed.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Trickier to crack. Time for a bun.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Enemy targets detected.
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Free will, or was it from the still waters of oblivion?
Time for a bun.
Commencing support. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Sure, I'll play along.
Another journey begins. Destined for oblivion.
Can I have fun this time? Time for a bun.
Ready for another?
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
This combat needs optimized. This is double speed. This combat needs This is double speed.
Watch your head.
weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
No dirty tricks already. Spend freely.
Free will, or was it fate?
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Can I have fun this time? Time for a buzz.
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head. The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Free will, or was it on the still waters of oblivion? I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
More enemies. Time for a buzz. This is double speed. This combat need. This is double speed.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Enemy targets detected.
Hedge your bet, huh?
Another journey begins, destined for oblivion.
Watch your head.
data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Time for a buzz.
Commencing support. Ready for another?
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Can I have fun this time? Time for a buzz.
Enemy targets detected.
Free will.
The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
This combat needs up. This is double speed.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Nice. Let's do it again when you're leveled up. The server's still not open.